Just touching on so the overall pass rate also dropped by
Yes.
2 or 3%. Would you also attribute that to the new curriculum mainly?
I think it is a lot of that. The teachers in many areas apparently also haven't been trained particularly well in that CAP. So I think that is a lot to do with it.
Is teaching and the abundance of teachers or lack thereof still a huge problem? How do we tackle that?
We have enough teachers in the Western Cape at the moment. I'm not sure about the other provinces. We aren't always getting the teachers that we need. Some of our teachers are not up to scratch. We need to ensure that they either improve or enable somebody else who is to do the work. So we will be looking this year at accountability in teachers as well as other role players, including all of our officials, including parents and including learners themselves. One thing I have seen in the improvements in some of the Metro East, particularly schools that I went to yesterday, is that they really got together as a community. They got the parents involved, they got the learners really keyed up and enthusiastic, excited. They got the principal, they got the teachers. They all put in a lot of extra effort just to try and help these learners to get through. And we all need to do that, I think, to be successful.
Sadly, once again, the Eastern Cape is sort of bringing down the average. But, they've got the poorest pass rate, slight improvement, but then also some alleged cheating and copying going on there, and in KwaZulu-Natal. How much more do you know about that?
There was, I don't know all the details of it. There were quite a number of centres where they had that in KZN and in Eastern Cape. I understand from what the Minister said the other day that there have been some of those centres that have been cleared. I don't quite know what that means either. We need to find out more. I don't know enough about that.
How does something like that happen? Sorry to interrupt.
Apparently what happened was there were some people, I don't know if it was examiners or teachers in the room at the time, where they were effectively dictating answers to each other who were copying them. And the sad part is that even though they were cheating, they didn't get the answers right. So that is a scary thought.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you mentioned the pass rate of 65, but the thing that we've been driving for the last number of years, and we continue to drive, is that you can't only look at the percentage. And the Eastern Cape is a low percentage, but they also have a huge dropout rate. Now, one of our main priorities in the Western Cape is to keep as many of our learners in school as possible. We don't want them to get involved in drugs and gangs and so on. And obviously, by doing that, we run the risk of having a lower percentage because we have more learners in the system. And we're prepared to take that risk in the short term to get the longer term benefits. But our retention rate this year was once again the highest in the whole country. We had 65% of our learners who were in grade 10 in 2012 who wrote this exam. And the provinces that, according to the table, came second and third, which is the Free State and the Northwest, only retained 40 and 45% of their learners. So, I really think we need to look at how we actually assess that table, because people say, oh, well, you're number 4. Well, yes, according to that strict number, but what do they want us to do? Reduce the number of learners, kick out the ones who aren't performing to get a higher percentage? No, we won't. So it's not just a simple issue.
Now, of course, the DA have been coming out and saying that respective provinces, your pass rates actually not this figure, it's in fact this figure because of the
retention.
So, I mean, what is your secret then? How do you get learners to stay in school? How have you got that figure in the Western Cape to be so good?
We put in a concerted effort at district level, school level, and that is one of our priorities. It's been driven from the top, and all the district directors are on board with that, and they assist and hold our principals as far as they can also accountable to ensure that doesn't happen. And they help the learners. They help the learners to get up to where they need to be. And there have been a lot of interventions in our districts to do that in order to try and ensure that we get our learners to get a better quality to pass and to get a better quality pass.